Hey y'all, I'm Carol Corey, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm so happy you've come back to visit me in my creating corner. I'm so excited. You know, I always get excited about my paper pumpkin and when my kits come. So today I'm working on the Painted Petals, July 2024. Look at that box, isn't it beautiful? It's exciting. It lets you know there's something really cool inside. I love the paper pumpkins. It's everything you need all in one box. This particular set will make 9 full-size cards. So if you don't have an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you want to get in on the fun, I'm here for you. So you'll see my website up top down below. Don't forget, all month long, for every $50 that you spend on the website, you'll get a $5 coupon in the mail. So don't lose it. Check your spam box. But you'll get a $5 coupon code to use to any purchase through the Stampin' Up! Website in August. Win-win, perfect situation. And as always, any kit that's purchased through my Stampin' Up! Website, I do make a donation to the Children's Cancer Research Fund through my Great Cycle Challenge. That happens every September. I'm on my 3rd year and I'm looking forward to getting started. So I'm looking forward to getting started on my paper pumpkin box. So let's get this down to the creating table and see what I come up with. And I know we're going to have some fun with some alternate designs. Let me get this down. All right. I am so excited. Let's get into this paper pumpkin, the July 2024 Painted Petals. The everything you need except the scissors. Box of fun and happy. Sometimes, as you know, you don't even need the scissors sometimes except just to get into the box. So let's get this off. I can't wait to see what's in here. Oh, look at that. Even the box is so pretty and exciting. Okay, Painted Petals, a paper crafting kit by Stampin' Up! Oh, so pretty. Okay, so this one comes with a gray granite Stampin' spot for your ink. And let's take a look here at the stamps. Okay, we've got a pretty flower and little line for some texture. And it says, we've got, I'm so lucky to have you in my life. Hello. I like these little hellos. Let's make such a cute little tag hanging off something. Let's celebrate you. Okay. Friends like you make life beautiful. How lovely. Oh, how nice. And you're simply the best. Simply the best. Let's put that aside. Look at this pretty tissue paper. What is in here? This tissue paper is so nice. Of course, you're going to want to save it for gifts or whatever. So let me go ahead and pull it out. And, oh, how pretty is that? Oh, that is so pretty. Okay, we've got, that looks like Calypso Coral. Look at the daisies. Ah. Okay, gotta see what we have. Gotta see what we have. I tell you what, with the heat we've had, I have not been wanting to spend an awful lot of time outside. I'm in South Carolina. Whew. It's been some hot days. Let me silence my phone. Right. So I love getting the new paper pumpkin to keep me occupied while I'm inside. I'm having some trouble getting into this one. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Here, what do we have in our little Ziploc baggie? We have got some very shiny sequins. We've got some adhesive strips. Well, that's interesting. And some blue dimensionals. Okay. Put those aside. And look at the pretty envelopes. So there's 3 with the pink, 3 with the coral, and oh, how cute, 3 little daisies, kind of a pinkish peachy. And look at the inside of the envelope. Oh, the inside of the envelopes even are lined. So pretty. Okay, well, I'm going to keep 1 of each out because I'm going to do 1 of each of the designs with y'all. So we'll be making, this kit will make 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs. And I will make 1 of each design with you. That is a pretty card base. And you notice the front and the back of the card is decorated. There is nothing to say that you can't just cut this card in half and use this for one card and this for another. I mean, that is something that we will probably do with one of these. Kind of stretch it a little bit. So we'll do that one. And oh, how pretty. I like little splatter designs. So those bases are rather similar, just a different color. And here are the other bases. Okay. So pretty. Okay. And let's look at the banners. Nice. Oh, look at these cute shapes. Oh, these will match the shapes of the sentiments. So cute. So cute. And oh, beautiful. Look at these die cuts. Oh, how beautiful is that? Oh, lovely. I guess lovely. Okay. Let me get these two aside. And of course, this cardboard is great for other kinds of crafting that you might want to do. I am excited looking at this set. This is an insert if you want to get one of the clear boxes that Stampin' Up! Sells to keep your extra materials, your stamp set, your directions. And then this is a black line drawing and easy to see what the sentiments are with the stamp set. And here are our directions. Shows you all the components that are in the kit and your coordinating colors. If you have some full-size stamp pads and want to vary away from the gray granite, the components of this kit will match with Calypso Coral, which I love, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Gray Granite, Old Olive, Melon Mambo, Mossy Meadow, Peach Pie, and Pretty in Pink. Perfect. Now, if you aren't watching the video and you need to have an idea of how to put it together, just scan that QR code with your phone. Here is the dies that coordinate with this kit, and I will be pulling those dies out. Where did I leave them? Okay, here they are. They're called Every Celebration. And we've got the flowers, the word hooray, and some leaves. So I think when we figure out other cards to make with the components of the kit, we're going to maybe use one of these. Let me put that over here. And now let's look at the directions. And as always, you've got a measuring across the bottom if you needed to measure anything. This one is all inches and it goes up to 18 inches. And we have pictorial directions, so you can even just follow the pictures to see what to do. And card number 1 is the Melon Mambo, so let's start with that one. I'm going to clean all this up and then we'll get into the number 1 card for the paper pumpkin kit. Okay, yay, I'm ready to get this one done. Now I did go ahead and grab my Stampin' Pearson pad. When you're using the photopolymer stamps, sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of padding under it to get a good impression. I am using my glass mat and I have been getting a good impression without the Pierce pad by using my glass mat, but just for grins and giggles and to make sure that I get a good stamp, I'm going to use the mat. I also grabbed my full-size Stampin' pad of gray granite. I like to save the little ones. They're so convenient if you're going to go out of town and you want to bring something to keep your hands occupied. You know, it takes up a lot less space when you're using just the little Stampin' spots. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to stamp. Oh, by the way, when you get your first paper pumpkin kit, you do get an acrylic block on which to mount your stamps. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I got a shaped, one of the little shapes to put my sentiment on, and I'm using I'm so lucky to have you in my life. I hope everybody has someone that they can say, I'm so lucky I have you in my life. So just be real careful when you line it up. Now you can see straight through the stamp, so you should be able to see that you went down right in the right spot. And there you go. Perfect, perfect. Get my tweezers, pick them up, put it out of the way. I have my simple chamois here to clean my stamp off with. Get that out of the way. Okay, now I want to take my, let's look at that. I want to take my die cut with the beautiful pink flowers, and I'm just going to use some tweezers here. Most people probably don't. It's just easier for me to use tweezers. So I'm going to put, just like the picture shows you, I'm going to put the dimensionals on the back of each of the of 2 flowers, and the side and the bottom. There we go. Just down, 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 and then one down here at the bottom. And I'm going to put one on the left side of my sentiment. I think it's going to be crossing over. And then I'm going to take my pink banner and let me shut this before I put my fingers in it. If you don't get inky, were you stamping? Okay, and I'm just going to put one of these adhesive strips across. Ooh, that pulled that one off. This adhesive itself got left behind, so I'm just going to do it like I'm getting a glue dot and pull it up that way. There we go. Now let me make sure not to put that on anything because it'll stick. Goodness knows I've done that before. Okay, oh, I'm ready to put it down. So I'm going to put this down on my card base right about here. Okay. And then I'm going to take the little waxy things that covers the sticky of your dimensional. Take little waxy things off. And I'm going to put this right here. Oh, so pretty, so pretty. And now I'm going to put a dimensional right here. Ha ha ha, I know why. We're putting a dimensional here because I'm going to be putting, you know what? I put this dimensional on the wrong side. So let me show you what I do. I'm going to use my take your pick tool, and on the back side of that little piercer is this spatula. And look, it goes right up under your adhesive, gets that dimensional off of your paper, and there's no damage to the paper. We all love to avoid damaging the paper. Okay, so I'm going to be, I put this here because I'm going to be placing this over, and it would be kind of hard to figure out where to put it to fall in between the flower and the leaf. So if you put it just smack down on the banner itself, then you know wherever it happens to stick. I could even put another one over here for a little bit further stability if I felt it was a necessary thing. Okay, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to put another one right here because I feel sure my banner is going to cover it. It's going to reach that far. And I'm going to put this right across there, just like that. And voila, we are done. How pretty. Oh my gosh. And then you tuck it in its, what'd I do with the envelope? Here we go. And then you tuck it, whoops, that's not the envelope. Here's the envelope. Tuck it in its coordinating envelope. And how exciting for somebody to open this up. My goodness. Oh, I love it. Tell you what, more is more. Let's take a couple of these little rhinestones. And I think, whoopsie, as I shoot one across the table, let's go ahead and put one here. Just a little bit of subtle sparkle. And another one can go here. Whoops. And where should we put a third one? There are pictures of where to, and I just sent another one off the floor, so I've got some sparkle on my floor now. Isn't that fun? That's okay. I'm going to put this one outside the frame. Oh, I think that is the sweetest. And of course, You can do whatever you want on the inside, thinking of you, happy birthday, whatever you want. Oh, I do like that card. Oh, and look how quick it was. I mean, nothing. Okay, well, let's see what number 2 looks like, and if number 2 gets put together as quickly and easily. Okay, card number 2, the Calypso Coral. And just for giggles, we're going to go ahead and stamp this sentiment to see how it turns out without using the piercing pad. Okay, line it up right on there. Like I said, I have been having a fun, look at that, perfect, perfect. I have been having good luck stamping it on the, can you see it? Looks like it gets kind of dark when I get up there. How about down here? Whatever. Okay, take my word for it if you can't see it. You'll see it on the finished card, on the completed card. Okay, now this is going to be put together just pretty much like the other one. Okay, let's go ahead and get some of these dimensionals on the back here. And there. We do want to have some stability, so we do want to spread it out. Get several on there. Let's get a tape strip. And this one is left behind on the strip too, so we just put it down. Press it, and then you peel it off, and the adhesive peels off the plastic. And this is going to go on this side, there, and take the wax off. Feel like Mr. Miyagi's here. Wax on, wax off. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Okay. There we go. And we want a dimensional on, okay, we're not going to put any dimensionals on the sentiment. We're going to put them straight on that little colored banner. We're just going to snuggle one right there, and we're going to put one on this side for a little extra stability. These kits are really such a fabulous gift for the crafter in your life, or the person who is just getting started stamping or crafting and doesn't have much to do, much to use at home. Everything comes. They don't need extra stuff. It's fabulous. And everything is so easy, even for the younger stamper. You know, you could get this to some, I don't know how young, you know, a preteen certainly can put this together. Wouldn't that be fun for a birthday party? Oh. Okay, let's just put a couple sequins here, just to add a little something something, a little bit of glow and glimmer. There we go. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm going to put a couple more. More is more. More, more. Let's get one right there, up in the corner. And let's put one at the very top. Hey, I didn't shoot any sequins across the room. Congratulations to me. Oh! Oh, I love it! Oh, that is so pretty. Now, let's get that envelope and the matching envelope. Oh, how pretty. This card is a gift in and of itself. But seriously though, these make great gifts. Just, you know, a paper pumpkin box, or you can pre-order 3 months or 6 months. You can pre-order a year, and then with the discount, it's like getting a free box. What a Christmas present or birthday present that is. And if you go ahead and pre-ordered 3 boxes, this is bonus buys day. For every $50 that you spend, you get a $5 coupon through the email to use next month when you order something. And if you order a few paper pumpkin kits, or even one kit plus a few other things, That totals $50. You get $5 to spend next month. Bonus days. Get that bonus. Love it. And I just have ongoing subscriptions though. It's so easy that way. And you know, you can always pause or cancel your subscription at any time. But for every kit, the regular Stampin' Up! Kits, you know, we come out with 2 every month, or the Paper Pumpkin Kit. Every September I do that Great Cycle Challenge fundraiser, and I take the 20% from the kits and put it right into my challenge. So, win-win there. Anyways, let's do card number 3, and card number 3 is just the same, so let me get this going here. And I know, let me wipe this off, put it aside. Here I've got this sentiment, put it in the middle, and it says, friends like you make life beautiful. I didn't get the shape for this one. Let's see what the shape is. I believe this might be the shape that I'm looking for. Nope, that's not it. Let me find which one it is. Here we go. Here we go. Same shape, just a little bit bigger. Same shape, different size. Okay. Get my gray granite here. And let's get these out of the way. You, friends like you, make life beautiful. Sometimes, you know, best practice is just to let the paper drink the ink for a moment. There you go. Perfect. I love this glass mat. I'll have the information for that down below. It's not in the annual catalog. It's kind of new. But if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, a US Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'm here for you. And I'm telling you, this is a very cool thing to have. Okay, let's not waste time. Let's get this card put together. So happy looking. I like the daisies. There we go. And the glue strip. This one uses the green. Let's see if I can manage to get the glue off of there. I did. I got the glue off the strip. Off that acetate. Okay. Let's put that off. Okay, pull these off. Okay. These will go awesome. I love the splatters. What do y'all think of the splatters? I love the splatters. That is really adds a little bit of zhuzh to it. Let's put that under there. Okay. And I'm going to do just like I've already done, and I'm going to put the dimensionals on the backing here, and then just place the sentiment down on top of it. I think that works out great. Great. Oh, so pretty. Oh man. Oh man, that is so pretty. Okay. Of course we need a little bit of sparkle throughout. Oh, that is so pretty. know what would be more fun, being on the design team to create things like this, or being on the Stampin' Up! Team to name their inks. I love their ink names. But, oh, that is so pretty. I'm going to put some more sequins on here. Oh. What do y'all think? Do you like it? Do you like? Do you like? If you do, give my video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. And that's it. There's my 3 cards with the kit. How quick and easy to make something so adorable. I love it. I hope you like it. And there's its thing. So here are the 3 cards as the kit directions say to do. But you know what? These are so pretty. I have a couple ideas going on in my mind right now what we can do. So if you're a beginning stamper, if you're a I have a few things around kind of stamper, or oh please honey, I got a craft room, I think I've got something just up for each one of you. Let me clean all this up and see what we can do. Hang on. Okie dokie. Let's see what we can do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with something for the simple stamping. You may not have much around, but I'm thinking getting some white cardstock, just basic white cardstock is easy enough to get. I gave it a good crease with my bone folder. Now I'm going to take this card base and using my paper trimmer, and if you don't have a paper trimmer, you can always cut it along the line, but I'm going to use my paper trimmer to cut this in half. Okay, now you can always put this on a plain card base and complete this the way the directions said. You know, that's something you can do with that. But I'm going to take this and let me trim that fold line off. Just the slightest little, whoops. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to do just a simple, I'm going to do it 5 and a, let's see, do I want a vertical card? Let me do a horizontal card. This is 5.5 inches long. There we go. It's 5.5 inches. So I want, and 4¼ inches tall. Okay. Now I'm going to do it tall ways. I'm going to do it tall. Okay. So it's 4. So if I do a portrait card, it's 4¼ by 5.5. So I'm going to want to trim this down to 5¼ I'm just going to take 1/4 inch off. And then I'm just going to cut 4 strips that are both like not 3/4 inch, not even an inch. I'm just going to do 4 strips that are 0.75. There's 1, 2, hope the math works out right, 3, yay, and 4, it did it. I might want 5, but let's see how 4 fits. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 4 does it good. Now you can use your adhesive strips or just get some white glue. I really like this all-purpose glue, Tombow. All my measurements and what I'm using will all be in the description box below, along with my contact information if you don't have a U.S. demonstrator. Like I've said before, I'm here for you. If you have any questions, you can email me through my 24/7 store. very easily. Okay. I really like my tweezers. Okay. You don't want to put so much glue on there that it's going to smush out the sides, because this stuff doesn't really ever get super, super dry to the touch. It's always got a little bit of tack left to it. So, okay, as I said, this is for just the quick, maybe beginning stamper, the person who doesn't have a whole lot in their craft cabinet. Okay, there we go. That's a cute little front. I'm going to take my gray granite and here's my shape. Oh, I didn't get my sentiment. Okay, I'm going to put "I'm so lucky to have you as a friend" on the front of this one. Isn't that cute? I mean, it's just so simple. It's just a couple strips, but it is so cute. Okay. Ink that up. And I've got the shape here. Say you have two people that live in the same house that you need to send cards to. They both like pink. You don't want to send them both the same style. Here's how you can zhuzh one up. Alrighty. Let's see. With this piece that I have left over, let me see. This is 10. This actually is about 1 inch wide and 2 1/4 inches long. So I'm going to want something 2 1/2 inches long. And about 1 1/4 inches wide. And that is how wide it is. Let's see if my math worked out. Is it going to fit on here? It does, but you know what? I think that might be a little wide. I'm going to trim it down just a wee bit. Let me give it, let me see. If I do it 1 inch, yep. So I'm going to do that just 1 inch wide. This is sweet. This is sweet. And I can either glue that flat down and put the whole thing on dimensionals. I could glue that flat down and put this on dimensionals. I think I'm going to put the whole thing. Actually, I think, let's see. I'm going to put this on dimensionals first, because I've got an idea. Just using the dimensionals that came with the kit. Believe me, you are going to have a ton left over. Okay, I'm going to put this right about there. And I might raise that up. I'm going to raise this one up too. The higher the hair, the closer to God. Well, the thicker the card, the more somebody knows you love them. Okay. I'm so lucky to have you in my life. Now, if you had some ribbon, it would be so cute to put some ribbon across here. But this particular card, I'm doing for the person who may not have a whole lot. And so we're going to take these sequins that came with the kit. Oh, this is sweet. This is sweet. We're just going to take the sequins that came with this kit and put a little bit of sparkle on there. And there we have it. Oh, that's cute. What do you think? I think I would love to get that in the mail. Aww. Tell you what we could do. We can take the floral stamp. Remember, there's a flower on here. So we can take this floral stamp. And let me show you what we can do with this floral stamp. put that on there. I've got some scratch paper here. I want to show you something. Okay, we're going to ink up this flower that came with our paper pumpkin kit. Now you see how that comes out nice and dark? That's great, but look, if you do it a second time, it's just a shadow. That's called second generation. We've stamped it off, so I'm going to ink this up really nicely. I'm going to lightly stamp it off because I do want to leave some ink on there. And then I'm going to come inside here and I'm going to put it right in the middle. And when you write, or if you put another sentiment in the middle, you've got that pretty little detail. Love it! I think that is adorable. And like I say, if you have some ribbon or something at the house, you could zhuzh it up a little bit more by putting a little bit of ribbon under there. But I think that is adorable as is. Aw. Well, I do like to zhuzh things up, so let's go ahead and see if we can do something just a little bit stepped up. Let me clean all this up and see what we got going. Okay, I'm just going to use the front panel of the card that I just cut in half for the past one. I'm just going to, this is if you have a little bit extra stuff. I've still got the I'm so lucky to have you in my life stamp mounted. I'm going to go ahead and stamp it on its shape. And I am going to pretty much put this card together the way the directions had, but I'm going to have a little twist to it. Okay? Because I did cut that other card in half, I still have this panel. I could have just mounted it straight on the white card base, or I could just get a Melon Mambo card base, but I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've got my white card base. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I've cut a Melon Mambo card stock panel at 5 by 4 1/4, and I'm going to cut this down to no, 5 1/4 by 4. Sorry, I'm going to cut this down to 5 by 3.75. So let me just get to trimming here. I want to preserve as much of the main design as possible, so I'm going to trim it a couple little times. Okay, so I wanted it 5. Okay, I'm going to lose some of the leaves there, but that's okay. I'm not going to lose much. Okay, so now it's 5 inches tall. Now I need it 3.75 inches wide. Let's see if I'm going to trim just a wee little bit off this side. And now 3.75. There we go. Okay. Now, let's just get it adhered to this. Oopsie. Oops. Went off a little bit. That's okay. Yeah, I use a lot of glue. It's okay. So let's get that centered right there in the middle of that Melon Mambo panel. Let's get the Melon Mambo down to the card base. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to stamp the inside of the card. No, I'm not going to worry about that right this moment. Okay, so let's put this right here. And then we're just going to do just like we did for the original card. For a minute I forgot to turn the recording back on. That would have been disappointing for me, because it's late. It is late at night. my mail's been coming like at supper time. So I didn't want to wait. I want to get started on this. I have something really out of the box. I mean, really out of the box that I'm going to do with one of them. But you know what? It is all okay. Oh, before I put that down, I need to put this panel down. That's right. Let's go ahead and get a glue strip. Put it there. Okay. And we're going to put this right about here. And then we're going to mount my die cut right about there. Oh, that is lovely. That is lovely. And then, remember we put the glue dots, the dimensionals, on this little piece itself. Now, the placement is going to be a little bit scooched over. I'm going to put that there, that there. Okay, let's take these off. I love these die cuts. I love that Melon Mambo color too. I'm so in love with everything, and I'm lucky to have you in my life. There we go. And grab a couple of these self-adhesive sequins, and one right there, one right there, and we'll put another one up here. Ah, I like it. I like it. Having it on that Melon Mambo panel just really kind of sets off the design itself. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, maybe a little shine. I'm going to have to find some Winkostella around here and maybe put a little bit of shine on there. And I do want to show you this card. I had some of this white twine, the white baker's twine that has the little silver shot through it. I went and just added a little bow on there, and I think that is just perfect. And I think this is just perfect too. So these two cards came out of the one card base. Okay, let's move on because I have something pretty exciting I want to do. Let me clean this up. Okay, I have got a lot of stuff out here, and it's all going to be so cool. Now, I really like how the backs of these cards are decorated. So I think I'm going to cut this one apart, just like I did the other one. I'm going to cut it right on its crease. This Stampin' Up! Trimmer, you can see all the way down here where the cut track is, and it is so easy to put the crease right against that cut track, and you know you're going to be getting it right. Okay, I just think this is valuable cardstock. I want to use what I can. So I'm going to go ahead and trim it. Maybe I won't trim it. I'll see. But I've also got a scrap of Granny Apple Green out here. I've got my Every Celebration dies that coordinates with this set. I'm going to be using the flower. And here we can cut out the flower, and yes, I'm going to cut out some leaves. And I'm also going to use the Hooray. And it's all going to be really cute right here through my little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. But this table is pretty shaky, and it's probably going to be a disaster if I try cutting on the table. So let me take this off the table, and when I'm ready to use it, I will use it on the counter. So I've got a scrap of basic white, and I've got some Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I'm going to do 3 of these flowers. Now actually this is a different kind of ink pad, and you can sort of rub it if you want. And I'm going to do 3 flowers on here. I want to make sure they all fit. And I've got a couple little smudges from my finger, but it'll be okay. So there we go. And now I'm going to use some Stampin' Blend markers to color these in. Now Stampin' Blend markers, I've got Granny Apple Green and I've got Melon Mambo. Melon Mambo both, but it's light and dark, same with the Granny Apple Green. Okay, we're going to use the dark, and you notice one end has the thin line, one has the thick. The thin line is your pen tip. Your thick line is your brush tip, just like on our Stampin' Write markers. So I'm going to use the thin line of my dark to highlight the artist's detailing. You don't have to be absolutely perfect. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to take the light, and I'm just going to pull the whole thing in. And they are alcohol markers, so it pulls some of that dark in, and it blends, and you don't see such a dark line anymore. Okay, now that they're colored, I'm going to cut them out. And remember, I used the Memento Black Ink. This is a water-based ink. These are alcohol markers, so they won't bleed together. The markers won't pull the black everywhere. Only use the markers if you're going to be layering. It bleeds through the back. Okay, so let me take these over to the counter and get these cut out. Okay, let's get this card finished up. This is a card for people who have some stuff laying around. And so I've got some Mossy Meadow for a card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'll put that aside for the moment. I do have a piece of basic white. I'm going to go ahead and put it inside the Mossy Meadow card base. Okay. There we go. Now, I really, like I said, I think these cards, the backs of them being so attractive, it's just valuable. So I'm going to cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to have a green on green thing going. I like that little splatter down there. Okay, so I'm just going to do it like that. I like the contrast, but it's not too much. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and piece things together just to see where I want them. Now, I did go ahead and cut several of the flowers from Granny Apple Green. I don't like those leaves, several of the leaves. I don't like those leaves with this particular thing. Okay, on to Plan B. I'm going to go ahead and emboss this with an embossing folder, probably fern. Okay, Plan B is a go. I used this embossing folder. It's called Fern, and well, it's kind of hard to see what the folder itself, but look what a gorgeous design it put onto this card base, onto this panel. Isn't that gorgeous? So, and I did go ahead and get some gray granite because I thought, let's make it a little smaller. So I got a gray granite, cut that at 5 1/4 by 4, and then I trimmed this down to 5 by 3.75. Now I'm going to go ahead and attach these two together. And with a little bit of tear and tape, I've got this braided ribbon. It is discontinued now, but it was such a huge bolt. I'm sure if you have things around, you still have some of the ribbon. Okay, so before I deal with the ribbon, I'm going to make sure of where I want the flowers. Let's spread them out a little bit. I think that'll be good. I'm going to go ahead and glue this one down flat. Just a little bit here, there, here and there. That one right about here. Yes. This one, I think I might want it up just a tad bit. Oh, I cut, need a little bit more behind there. There we go. Now, I cut these flowers. Remember, these are the flowers that I stamped with the stamp that came with the paper pumpkin kit. And this add-on kit, every celebration dies, has the leaves, the die to cut out the flowers, and hooray. And I cut the word hooray out, and we're going to use that one too. I think I'm going to put this one right about there, but I'm going to put it up on dimensionals. Okay. Where? There they are. So we're just going to pop a couple little dimensionals onto this one. Because this is going to be so special and pretty. And we'll put that one right about there. Yeah, that'll do. And this third one, I'm going to put on double dimensionals. Very simple. Yeah, just put your dimensionals on there like you normally would. Take the little waxy backing off. Oops. And then just pop another dimensional right on top of it. Now, if you're going to make it this thick, you're definitely going to need to use that extra ounce stamp. So, there we go. I think this is going to be cute. Okay, now that I have an idea of where everything's going to be, oh, that's going to be nice. Okay, so I'm going to put some ribbon right across here with some tear and tape. I love my tear and tape. I'm just going to put my tear and tape here. That'll help hold that ribbon down. And I'm going to wrap it. Here we go. I'm going to take about 8 inches of ribbon. On the back, I'm going to put 2 little strips of tear and tape to hold it down. If I can find the end, there we go. Okay. Now I want it even with that, so let's just make sure I get it on the right spot. There we go. And it's there, so let's put it there. Okay. Now, let's just take this off. And this off. That there. I'm going to get my silicone craft mat out so I don't stick it everywhere that it shouldn't be. And let's get this off. Okay. I'm just going to lay that down on top. And then wrap it around. Just going to trim that little bit of extra off. And now I'm ready to attach my third and final bouquet, and I think that looks so pretty. I think that looks so pretty. Okay, now I did cut out the word hooray from the coordinating die set. I'll have this order number down below. It's an add-on, which means you can order it or not. It's only like a couple dollars, 12 bucks maybe, but it adds so much. Okay, now this is really thin. You can use your fine tip glue pen to add adhesive to the back, but what's easiest is just get the Stampin' Up! Adhesive sheets right here. You just cut it real thin, and you just cut it, put it on the back of your cardstock before you cut your item, and it turns it into a sticker. And then once it's cut out, you just use your Take-A-Pick tool or some tweezers to get that backing off. Just peel it off. Now I'm going to put this on, and I hope this works out. I hope this looks okay. This is some Granny Apple Green paper. It's nice and happy. It's the same color I used there. So I've adhered my hooray down. Now, where are my paper snips? I'm going to cut around the word, and it's going to be just a rough cut around. It's not going to be right up against it. But it is going to be slightly shaped. Maybe I'll come in a little bit closer there. No, there we go. Oops. Come in like that. Get all that out of the way. Okay. Smooth that one off. Come back in. Hooray! Hooray! Huzzah! Oh, golly. Oh, that's so cute. And we're just going to stick it right across there. Ah, yes. So we'll put the dimensionals on either side. And I reckon we should do double dimensionals since it is crossing over that double dimensional stem. But I did want it up more dimension than that, and I did want it all in there together. So I'm not going to be sad about that. There we go. There we go. Put that right across there. Hooray! Oh, I like it. That's cute. But it needs a little bit of sparkle. Let me grab my self-adhesive sequins and pop one there. It looks so nice with that embossed background. Put one here. Get one. Let's go ahead and get one right about here. Oh, I like it. Oh, that's cute. That is cute. Okay, the only thing left to do now is to adhere it to the card base. And then we shall see the magic. I think it's already magical. Yes. Good to see. Oh, I love it. I really like it with that gray granite panel. Oh, that looks so nice. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I like that one. I like them all. Every time I make another one, I say, oh, I like that one. I think my next card is going to be my very favorite of all. It is completely out of the box, and I need to gather some items. Oh my golly. You're going to want to see this. I'm going to want to see this. I've been wanting to do this particular type of card for a long time, and this set right here is the perfect one. Okay, let me clean up and get the other things I need. Okay, not going to lie, I'm a little nervous about this one, but let's just give it a shot, right? So I'm going to put some Flirty Flamingo on my acrylic block, and I'm taking an aqua painter, and I'm going to squish water down onto my acrylic block, and then I'm going to use it like a palette to get real wet, and then I'm just going to tap my hand, tap it on my finger, okay, maybe a little bright there. I'm going to get that lovely splatter look that I liked on those card bases. There we go. Now I'm just going to put that aside and let it dry for a little bit, and then I'll move on. Alrighty, my little splatter paper is dry, so let me get my image stamped on here. Now I'm going to stamp this in gray granite, and I'm actually not sure what shape I'm going to end up cutting this panel into, so I'm just going to figure out where I want the image itself. Let's just go ahead and do it like that. Okay. All right, are you ready for this? Okay, let's get that out of the way. Now, I've got my embroidery needle and some embroidery floss. This is 2 threads of a darker green. I've got, it's actually number 3347, and I'm also going to be using 3348, and we're going to use that for the leaves. And, wait a minute, where's the stem? I have one pulled out for the stem. Here it is. Oh, here we go. So this is 3346 and 3345 will be for, okay, 3346 is the stem. I'm going to outline the leaves with the 3347, fill them in with 3348, and then I'm going to use these pretty corally colored ones, 3706 to outline the flowers, and 3708 to do a satin stitch to fill them in. So let's get started embroidering. And with a light, if you put a bright light, you can see in the back where to go through. And here we go. Now I'm going to do the satin stitch to fill the leaves in. I'll do that next, and then outline the leaves. Okay, you have to be careful when you're doing your stitches. You can't put them right next to each other like you can on fabric, because it's piercing the paper and you'll end up just ripping a big hole in the paper. But it's okay that there is a little bit of white in there. There are leaves that are variegated, right? So let's move on and get the rest of these filled in. Time to outline, and I'm going to try to go through the holes that are already there as much as I can. You don't want to put too many extra holes in your paper. Oopsie. Okay, that bent part looks a little odd, but hey, are you supposed to be sewing on paper? Not necessarily. If I used a regular sewing needle instead of an embroidery needle and one strand of floss, it would probably not create as much damage, possibly not create as much damage to the card. But it's okay. It's okay. It's not really that bad. Okay, I am done with my little sewing project. So let me put my needle and floss away. I tell you, this was a learning curve, sewing on this cardstock. What I did learn is next time, I think I'm going to, and there will be a next time, I'm going to use thick cardstock. I have got some basic white thick cardstock, and I think that'll be a lot easier. You couldn't put your, I couldn't put my stitches particularly close together because it would just make the hole so big it would make the cardstock itself actually disappear. But I think that looks really good. I'm okay that the green is not as solid as I would have liked, as I originally was thinking. I think I like that with the being able to see the variation in there. There was a lot of shading on the inside of the flower on the stamp image itself, so that is a little bit thicker, but that's okay. And I've got some special plans for this. Now it's going to be, I'm going to cover it with like a window. Okay, I'm going to cut a piece to go over it. I wanted this panel to be at least 3.75 by 5. So what I did is I took a ruler and I measured where did I want the 3.75, and it'll work out. It'll be good. So I'm going to just trim this down. Like I say, it is going to be covered by another panel that's just going to have a opening kind of cut in it. So it'll be a peek through. There we go. This track, you can see there's like a space where the blade comes, and you just put your mark in that space. And I did put the space just on the outside of where I wanted it. So this is going to be good. It's going to be fancy. This is definitely for the stamper that's got a few things laying around, and you know, maybe some embroidery floss. A regular needle might have worked a little bit better also, but then you wouldn't have been able to use two strands of floss. And I'm happy with how it turned out. I'm just looking at like in the future. Now looking at this like this, I probably should have had it over a little bit more, but that's okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take off the back of this card base. Like I said before, these bases are just so pretty. It's just, yeah. I'll make another card with this front like I did with the other one. And so this one I want to be 4 by 5 1/4. And, ooh, I didn't think about what kind of card base I wanted this on. Possibly, we'll see. Anyway, so that's 4 by 5 1/4. Now, what I did is I took these Something Fancy dies. Get this out of the way. These Something Fancy, these are so pretty. Look at that pretty circle right there with the little leaves on it. And I took this oval, and I'm going to cut out of the back. I'm going to cut this, and I'm also going to, and I already did, this striped shimmery paper. I cut, and I've got this beautiful piece right here. So the reason I'm cutting out of this is it's going to leave the edge for the inside. See that? And I'll be able to fit this right into the edge, and I think it's going to be really pretty. So let's see. I'm going to take this over and let me get it cut. Okay, I decided I'm going to use a Flirty Flamingo, do a Flirty Flamingo card base, because that is what I did the little splatter effect with. So I think that looks pretty, and that's such a neutral one. I want to show you, if you're going to cut paper down to make a card base, if you put it long ways, like the 11 inches going up and down, and you move it over to 4 1/4, go ahead and score it at 4 1/4, and then turn it and cut it at 5 1/2. And that way you've got 2 scored card bases ready to use. And honestly, if you're making one card of a design, it's really more efficient to make at least 2, possibly 3. 3 works out well time-wise, but 2 definitely. Okay, so I've got my 40 Flamingo card base here. Let me give it a good... I'm hoping this looks as pretty as I think it's going to look. Okay, now, I've cut the center out of my back of that other card panel. And you see here I've got the floral shape here that I can go ahead and keep that for something else. So I've got this right here, and I can put that down, and let's see, let me put this away. And now I should be able to fit my white right into place and have it match up. Let me slip this underneath. There we go. Cover it with that. I'm thinking that looks pretty good. Okay, and let's just make sure that I can fit this in just like that. Oh yes, oh, I'm excited, this worked out well. Let me scooch that over just a hair and make sure everything is right before I start gluing anything down. It is, it is, it is. Okay, that's not quite straight. Let me straighten it out. Oh, that's going to be great. Oh, that's going to be great. Okay, let me not move anything. I'm going to take my liquid glue, and I'm not going to move anything because I don't want to move anything. And I'm just going to kind of attach it a little bit. Just a little dab of glue to get me started. Okay. Okay, good. Now these two should stick together. These two should stay together. I'm going to put some glue all around the back here. When you have an idea and you don't have too many shots to get it right, and the reason I say I don't have too many shots to get it right is because I am using the back of a paper pumpkin card base. Don't have too many of those hanging around. Okay, why is that sticking out? There we go. Oh, I'm excited. Tuck this up and just a little tiny bit down the edge here at the corner. Oh, I'm so excited when things work out the way that I kind of have an idea, especially when I'm filming. Y'all see the success and the failure in real time. Okay, now time to put the little side piece on. This piece will fit right there. I did run this through with the adhesive sheet, with that Stampin' Up! Adhesive. Let me pull it off the back here. I'm going to pull the top down first because I kind of ripped it a little bit. Well, yeah, I'm going to pull the top off first so I can fit this in. Well, I guess I need to get this started right there. Make sure it gets right where it's supposed to be. Okay. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that really looks good. Yes. Where's my tweezers? I need some tweezers. Let's pull it up. Pull it over. Oh, look how nicely that's working out. That is working out great. And I need just a, let me move this over. slide it. Try to slide it. There we go. And I need just the tiniest little smidge under here where it kind of got separated. I don't even want to touch it with it. I just want to get the tiniest smidge of glue on that right there and down. And is that not awesome? Oh yes, I love it. Okay, now to think about what kind of sentiment I'm going to pull out this way and how I'm going to do that one. Oh, I'm so tickled. This looks so good. Okay, let me get that sentiment stuff going. Okay, before I do the forward sentiment, which is going to be Celebrate You on the front, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside before I attach it. I typically like to do that just in case I drop my stamp pad or something. Or put it ridiculously off. Okay, I'm so lucky to have you in my life. I didn't quite get the bottom of the Y. Oh my goodness. Well, that right there is why I like to do it before I attach it. Now, I do have a Flirty Flamingo marker, so I could just fix it, but I can just turn it over and stamp the other side. There we go. Okay, let's get this glued on the inside of my card, and then we'll do the front sentiment. Looks nice. Okay, now for the front sentiment, I'm doing the Let's Celebrate You, and I'm using the shaped tag that came with the paper pumpkin kit, but I'm going to emboss it. I'm going to emboss it in Flirty Flamingo. Now, typically, if you're going to emboss, you should use your Versamark. These ink pads, the ink will pretty much stay wet long enough, and like if you paint on your stamps with your Stampin' Right markers, the ink will generally stay wet long enough for you to get it in the clear embossing powder, which will let the ink color come through. I do like to use both though. If you stamp it in the Versamark and then move to the colored ink, this is clear. It's not going to do anything but help keep your ink pad ink wet longer on your stamp. So I'm going to just stamp the Let's Celebrate You on my Versamark. Going to get it loaded up with the Flirty Flamingo. And on the little die cut, and I am going to close the Versamark so it doesn't get, that didn't mess it up at all. Now let's just give this a little quick bath in the clear embossing powder. Let's shut that before I turn my heat gun on. If you heat your embossing powder with your heat gun, you'll need to buy more embossing powder. That would be a mess. And I'm just going to go ahead and shut this just to get it out of the way. Now, this is going to be loud. It's just going to take a minute, but I love how things look when they're embossed. Look, it's so shiny. It's got a little bit of texture to it. I love it. Can you see? Isn't that sweet? Okay, we're going to put that right along here. Let's Celebrate You. I'm going to put this one on dimensionals. Okay, you kind of got to wait for it to dry a little or cool off, because it is kind of hot that first moment. I'm not putting this on any kind of ribbon. I'm not putting any kind of colored thing under it. I don't think it's going to need it. I want this to be the exciting part on the front of the card. I am going to add some little gems, but let's see how this looks just like this. I think that's Perfect. And then I'll put a couple little gems. Okay. Ah, I really like how this one's coming out. Oh my golly. I might split this off into its own video because I really like this. And it's kind of one of those things that should be in its own video. Let's celebrate you. Okay, let me see what kind of embellishments I want. I think I want some flat pearls. Yep, I think these flat adhesive backed pearls will be lovely on here. I did consider the opal rounds, but they are so rounded. I just think they might be a visual textural distraction. So, I don't know with the thread. I don't know if there'd be such a if anything would really be such a distraction. Now we've got these smaller ones. We've got these larger ones. Let's see if we put a larger one right about here to cover that. No. We'll put a larger one there. We'll put a smaller one right there. Whoops. 2 for the price of 1. And let's go ahead and put this third one tucked right about here. Oh, I love it. I don't think it needs any ribbon because of the work, because of the cut work here. Yeah, so and the threads, I really think that's good enough. Now, you could put, this could have looked nice with a piece of ribbon underneath the Let's Celebrate You. But yeah, I think that's lovely. Oh my gosh, that was fun, sewing a card instead of coloring it with markers. That was something different. Okay, well, let me clean everything up and then take a look at all of our creations. Okay, let's take a look at what we've done. We did follow the directions in the kit and we created this beautiful card with this gorgeous coordinating envelope. We created this beautiful card. First one was Melon Mambo. This one is Calypso Coral. And then this adorable card with the daisies and the green. I love the green and the coordinating envelope. So there are those 3 cards from the kit as the kit directions. Then we took a card and we cut it into 2, a front and a back, and we cut the front into strips and used one of the sentiments from the paper pumpkin and the sequins, the self-adhesive sequins from the paper pumpkin. I did go ahead and add that little white bow, and as I was pulling these out right now, I thought, let me just put a little butterfly on there. So that's my very simple alternate card. Of course, I did have the front left over from this card base, and I pretty much just followed the same directions, but I did cut the card front down a little bit and put it on a Melon Mambo panel, and then just used a basic white base. I used the stamps from the set to do the flowers. I used the coordinating add-on dies. What did I do with those? I think I put them over here. These don't come with the paper pumpkin kit, but the Every Celebration dies is a very inexpensive add-on that will coordinate with this month's paper pumpkin, next month's paper pumpkin, and I believe September's paper pumpkin also. So that was pretty. I used the back of a card base. I cut this card base in half, and here's the front I'm going to use for another card. I ran the back through the fern embossing folder, put it on a little gray granite panel, and then put it on a mossy meadow panel. And remember on this one, which one? One of them I think I put in, okay, I don't remember. I stamped on the inside of one of these. There we go. And I stamped off and stamped a little flower on the inside of this card. Okay. So this one is a hooray. The hooray and able to cut the flowers out are both from the Celebration dies. Have some braided twine right there. I think that's really nice. And now the super special one that took a good bit of time. I sewed. I stamped the image, I splattered the background, stamped the image, and then I sewed instead of coloring using embroidery floss. I used the Lifetime of Love dies, I believe it was. I'll have to look back, I put it away already, to create this beautiful opening. This is the back of a card base, and I used some flat adhesive pearls, and I think that is marvelous. So these are my cards. Thank you for hanging in there. I really appreciate it so much. And if you like my cards, please give them a thumbs up. And if you'd like to come back and play again and see what I have on the creating table, if you click subscribe, you'll be notified when I post another video. And if you're interested in any of the kits that Stampin' Up! Offers, or in any of the extra materials I may have used, such as the Lifetime of Love dies, or the basic flat pearls, if you do not have a US demonstrator, I'm here for you. You'll see my website up top and down below. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget, this is July 2024. It's earnabration. For every $50 you spend through Stampin' Up, you will get a $5 coupon in the email to use in August. So thanks so much, and until next time, keep making the world a beautiful place. Bye.